Minasan, konnichiwa. For today's video in Japanese, we're looking at expressing one's ability. Now, to give you some context, when speaking in Japanese, you have to be very careful not to talk yourself up, I suppose. You'll even notice sometimes with this simple sentence construction of tennisu oshimasu, I play tennis, that actually implies watashi wa as the speaker. It's impolite to always say watashi wa, watashi wa. It's as though you're really quite full of yourself. And so the same goes, this particular principle, it applies to when you're speaking about what you can and can't do, speaking about abilities. And so looking at the vocabulary here, so when you're good at something, it can be 上手, 得意, or できます. Now, these three terms are not given in terms of something having greater weighting than the other. 上手 and 得意, the first two, they're more closely translated as being good at, whereas できます is more closely translated as being can do something. So 上手, 得意, and できます. Now, when it comes to being bad at something, you've got 下手 and 苦手. 下手 and 苦手 both being bad at something, whereas できません meaning more closely that you cannot do something. Here we've got our tennis player. テニスが上手ですね. You're really good at tennis, aren't you? Now, when it comes to terminology and kanji, kanji can reveal a lot about vocabulary. And so for 上手, 上手 actually means that you have the upper hand at something. So you've got the 上手. Now, hand, looking like it's kanji, are the lines in the hand giving wisdom, and 下手, 下手, not being good at something. One little clue to help you remember that good at is 上手 is that jaws is indeed very good at eating people. 上手. Now, using these terms in the context of sentences, there's two ways that you can go about it. When you're talking about someone, so the person, it's person wa skill ga, and then you choose your ending, whether it be 上手, 得意, or できます. However, if there is no person or subject in the sentence and you're just saying, they are good at such and such without necessarily saying they are, but it's implied because you're speaking to a person or you're good at, so it's just skill wa 上手, 得意, or できます. So here we've got some sample sentences. Bob さんは書道が上手ですね. So Bob is good at calligraphy. Henry 君は漢字が上手ですね. Henry is good at kanji. Notice that with the particle usage here, you've got person wa, skill ga, and then the ending. The third one. 兄はゴルフができません. My older brother cannot play golf. Person wa, skill ga, and then the ending. The fourth. パパはトランプが下手です. My father, Papa, is bad at cards. トランプ is cards. And the last one. 日本語は or 日本語が. There's no person in the sentence. That could be myself or I could be referring to someone else. 日本語は上手ですね. You're really good at Japanese. でも, but, there are always exceptions and funny little rules in Japanese. Of course, A plus B equals C. We can see that there. Thanks very much. 鼻が高くない. 鼻が高い. To have a tall nose means that you're quite full of yourself. However, we don't want to be full of ourselves. So, 鼻, nose, が 高くない. Our noses are not long. Let's not be up ourselves. So, 日本語は得意です. I am good at Japanese. Now this is kind of saying like, oh yeah, I can do it. It's not saying, oh my gosh, I'm totally the best at it. It's just sort of saying, yep, I'm good at Japanese. 日本語は得意です. Notice the particle usage of wa, because there's no subject at the beginning of the sentence implying myself. You cannot say 日本語は上手です. Oh my god, totes, I'm the best person at Japanese ever. Now, for the last one, family is quite a tricky thing. Now, your family, you would consider as being yourself. You're part of that group, and so you don't want to boast when it comes to your family. So, 兄はテニスが得意です. So again, I've used 得意 to mean good at. I am able to do it like I have in the first example sentence. So 兄はテニスが得意です。は person は skill が得意 good at. My brother is good at tennis. Now, when some Obachan comes up to you and she says, 日本語が上手ですね. Oh my goodness gracious, you're so good at Japanese. You do not say, ありがとう. Yeah, thanks. There are three possible things that you can do to take emphasis away from, your Japanese ability as such. So, そんなことないよ. No, it's not that at all. そんな that, こと thing, ない negative. Yo, lady, I'm not that great. そんなことないよ. まだまだ. Not yet, not yet. So I'm still on my way. I'm working at it. おそんなに上手じゃない。そんなに like that. 上手 good at じゃない I'm not good at. So to recap all together, the formation is person は skill が and then your ending, whether you're good or bad at something. Or if there's no person, skill は followed by the good at options which are 上手です、得意です or できます can do or bad at 下手、苦手 or できません。はい、終わり。ありがとうございました。